Hello friends, today we are going to learn about suturing needles. In our previous video we have learnt about suturing armamentarium. Now we are gonna read about each and every one by one. So let's start with classification of suturing needles. Suturing needles can be classified based on cross section of the needle, design of the needle, and based on how the suture material connects with the needle. So let's start with based on the cross section of the needle. Based on the cross section of the needle, it can be of two types: round bodied, also known as tapering, and second one is conventional cutting type. Let's read about round body or tapering first. Round bodied or tapering, the main feature of this is that the cross section is round. As the name says, it is round in shape. As we can see in this, the cross section is like this. If this is a needle, if we cut it from here, the cross section will come like this. This round. Therefore it is called round bodied and also called tapering, because as you can see in the diagram, the needle is tapering at the end. See, this is tapering, so it is also known as tapering. Slowly tapers to a point, so as it is also known as tapered, as I already showed you in the diagram. Uses: the round bodied or tapering needle is generally used for closure of all type of intraoral mucosal wounds, and it is also used for suturing of fascia and muscles which may tear through if a cutting needle is used. There is also one disadvantage of round bodied needle. What it is? It is the design. Because of its design, it is more difficult to pass through the tough tissues like skin. Cutting needles. Cutting needles have triangular cross section. See in the diagram. See, if this is a needle, when we will cut it, the cross section will come like this. This triangular area. Uses: it is used in suturing of skin wounds, subcuticular suturing, etc. The cutting needles are further divided into two based on the position of the apex of the triangle. One is conventional cutting and second is reverse cutting needle. Conventional cutting needle, the disadvantage is it may cut through if used on fragile tissue. So we cannot use conventional cutting tissue on fragile tissues like mucosa. In conventional cutting needles, the apex of the needle, as you can see, this is the apex. Apex is facing towards the inner aspect of the curvature of the needle. As you can see, this is the inner aspect of the needle and the apex is pointing towards the inner aspect. But in reverse cutting needle, the apex is towards the outer aspect of the curvature of the inner part of the needle. So coming to the needles based on the design. Based on the needle design, needles are of two types: straight needles and curved needles. First we'll learn about straight needles. Straight needles can be either round bodied or cutting needles. It can be of any type. Uses of straight needle. The straight needle is generally used for suturing in the abdominal region. Its use in maxillofacial region is limited, and in the absence of an owl, it may be used for the circummandibular wiring. It can also be used for placing a cheek stitch for the stabilization of a cheek retractor for intraoral surgical procedures. Curved needles. Curved needles are curved in shape. These can further be classified based on the curvature into like 1/4 circle, 3/8 circle, half circle or 3/4 the circle. Most commonly we use half circle needle. Uses. It is most commonly used in maxillofacial region and may be used for suturing extraoral incisions on the skin, and intraoral mucosal incisions or laceration can also be stitched using these needles. Now, based on how the suture material connects to the needle. These are two types, eyed needle or swag needle. First of all, eyed needle. Eyed needles are also called traumatic needles because it has a hole or eye which may be round, oval or square at the broader end of the needle. See, if this is a needle, eye or hole. The suture material is threaded into this hole, the hole which I showed you here. The suture material goes like this from this hole. Such needles can be sterilized and reused a few times till they lose their sharpness. Disadvantages. Multiple uses make it blunt and traumatic to the tissues, and chances of infection if not adequately sterilized, because these needles are reused, so there are chances of infection also if they are not sterilized properly. Traumatic entry through the tissues, as two strands of thread have to go through it, and there are chances of slipping out of the thread from the needle. Swag needle. Swag needle is also called atraumatic needle, and like the eyed needle, it is available in ready-made sterile packs and it has no eye. The advantage is it is atraumatic. Sterile needles for each procedure are available. Single use sharp needle for each procedure, unlike the eyed one. There are certain disadvantages of swag needle because it is expensive, because needle and material have to be discarded after each and every use. Thank you for watching my video. Friends, if you like my video, please subscribe my channel and ring the bell icon for latest updates.